Hello everyone, welcome to I Roll It, I Review It. Quick reviews chosen at random. To start, let's see where I'm watching. 3 is The Return of Tubi. Now it's time to roll for the genre. 16. That's gonna be Thriller. Okay, now roll for the movie. 4. 4 is Skyfire. No, it's not a movie about one of my favorite Transformers. Maybe a movie about meteors? I'll be right back. That was pretty bland. This looks to be another Chinese production aimed at the US. Although they got Simon West to direct it, the guy who did the very good Con Air, the also good The General's Daughter, and the pretty good Tomb Raider. The movie's about an island that has an active volcano. A young girl manages to escape, but her mother dies when the volcano erupts. So she spends her life dedicated to learning about volcanoes and warning people. So years later, this island has a multimillionaire that builds a super hotel mega theme park facility. Of course, the girl tries to warn everyone that the volcano is going to erupt, and then, yep, it does, and they spend the rest of the movie trying to escape. The movie's pretty much a remake of the 1980 Irwin Allen disaster film, When Time Ran Out. That movie was about a guy who had a mega hotel resort on an island with an active volcano, and scientists warn them that it's going to erupt and yada yada yada. This was about as by the numbers as you can get. It was kind of borrowing some of the story beats of Twister. Girl sees a parent die from a natural disaster and then spends her life researching said disaster, only to be smack dab in the middle of one of the worst disasters of all time. The story was super predictable, the CG was bad, and overall, despite the subject matter, was kinda dull. Speaking of the CG, back in the 90s, Congo, Dante's Peak, and Volcano all did it better, and that was over 20 years ago. This looked like an expensive asylum film. It's clear they had a decent budget, and some parts looked nice, but when it was bad, it was really bad. There's a part where the heroes are hanging off a cliff by a winch that looks like it was done with action figures. Most of the movie was dubbed into English, but that's fine. Some neat set pieces overall, but you know exactly what's going to happen every step of the way. Absolutely zero surprises. There's a bunch of movies that essentially follow this template, and they've done it better. So it's not terrible, just terribly predictable. If you're younger, you'd probably enjoy this, but if you're old like me, you've seen this exact movie done better a bunch of times. I think if perhaps they did some things a little differently, or if the effects were more on par with the volcano movies of the 90s, which feels weird to say, I would have enjoyed this more. A shame because West is a good director, but I don't know how he ended up here. Skyfire was so-so. Not the greatest story, with some occasionally terrible effects. If it was one or the other, that would have been fine. I don't mind a big dumb action movie, but all I ask is for it to be entertaining. This had bad effects and a bad script, which left nothing to keep me interested. I've seen some amazing films come out of China, so I know they can do it better. The House of Flying Daggers cost a fraction of what this cost and looks a million times better. It also had a much, much better script. As it stands, Skyfire is more like Supervolcano in China for 3 times the cost. Skyfire gets a mediocre. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you next time.